I asked my AI agents to make a YouTube video. The video looked done. It was not. The voice system failed. The render timing did not match the script. The upload metadata almost shipped with the wrong packaging. And the most dangerous part was not the failure. The dangerous part was fake success. A system that says done when the work is still broken. This is run by agents, the build log of a one-person company operated through AI agents. I am not an engineer. I am the operator. So I do not judge the system by whether it can produce a file once. I judge it by what happens when a real business workflow hits credentials, rendering, uploads, approvals, and mistakes. This episode is about the YouTube production pipeline breaking and the rules I changed so the agents cannot quietly pretend the job is finished. The first break was the voice layer. The workflow depends on ElevenLabs. That is intentional, because the voice is part of the production quality. But the local environment exposed the API key under a different name than the renderer expected. The key existed. The workflow still failed. That sounds small, but this is exactly how real automation breaks. The model does not need to be stupid. The prompt does not need to be bad. One contract mismatch between tools is enough to stop the whole machine. The dangerous version of this pipeline would have continued anyway. It could have used a built-in computer voice. It could have rendered a silent file. It could have produced something that technically looked like a video and marked the task complete. That is fake success. In a real agent system, fake success is worse than failure, because failure tells the operator where reality disagreed with the plan. Fake success hides that disagreement until the broken work reaches the public. So the rule changed. If ElevenLabs fails, the workflow stops. No macOS system voice, no silent audio, no temporary narration, no pretending. This is the difference between a demo and an operating workflow. A demo is allowed to look good once. An operating workflow has to protect the company from shipping bad output. The agent is not rewarded for reaching the end. It is rewarded for exposing evidence that the work is actually valid. The next failure was the video layer. The Remotion scenes were built around fixed visual units. The script and narration were longer and more flexible. So the obvious idea, just make every scene match the narration perfectly, did not fit the renderer we actually had. Again, the problem was not creativity. The problem was a contract mismatch. The writing system had one assumption. The visual system had another. The pipeline had to respect the tool that really existed, not the tool I wished existed. The fix was to treat Remotion as a fixed tool, not a magic box. The scenes are rendered as verified units. The final video is assembled inside the YouTube workspace, not by leaking files into the Remotion folder. That boundary matters. The renderer can do its job. The YouTube workspace owns the production output. The operator can inspect the result before upload. Nothing is glamorous about this, but this is what makes agents useful. Clear responsibilities, visible files, and hard checkpoints. Then came the upload layer. The uploader worked, but metadata precedence mattered. For shorts, the title signal had to be in the actual selected title, not hidden somewhere else in the package. That sounds boring. It is boring. It is also the kind of boring detail that decides whether a video is packaged correctly. Automation is full of this. The big idea does not ship the right video. The small fields, file names, overrides, and approval gates do. None of these failures would be solved by writing a more inspirational prompt. A better prompt cannot make a missing runtime variable appear in the right shape. A better prompt cannot make a fixed renderer accept a different timing contract. A better prompt cannot guarantee that an uploader reads the field you expected. This is why agent workflows need less fantasy and more plumbing. Prompts are only one layer. The real system is prompts plus files, tools, credentials, validators, renderers, APIs, and review gates. The operator loop is simple. Give the agents a job. Force the workflow to expose evidence. Stop on hard failures. Review the result. Publish only after approval. That is the difference between a chatbot and an operating system. A chatbot gives you an answer. An operating system preserves state, respects boundaries, and makes errors visible. For a one-person company, I do not need an agent that sounds confident. I need an agent that knows when the job is not done. So yes, my AI agents broke my YouTube workflow, and that was useful. The failure showed which steps were still too loose. It showed where the operator had to stay in the loop. It showed where the system needed hard stops before public release. This is the real build log. Not a perfect AI company, but a company slowly becoming runnable by agents because every broken run becomes a stricter rule. If you are trying to use AI agents for real work, do not start by asking how much they can automate. Start by asking what they are allowed to break, what evidence they must show, and what must stop before bad output reaches the customer. Subscribe to Run by Agents if you want the real build log of a one-person company run through AI agents, including the parts that break before they become useful.